Okay, I'm gonna try this YouTube live feed for the first time. Is the sound too low? Test, 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 test. I don't know. Okay. I know I don't have any viewers. I just want to see how it works. Okay, so we are, 9:30 a.m. here in Stockholm. European markets have been open for 30 minutes. Unfortunately, or I guess fortunately, for some of you, it's Thanksgiving, so most of my portfolio is not trading today, including the ICE listed commodities. But let's still go over how the portfolio looks and what's going on. Uh, So, I am from yesterday, I am slightly up, which makes me slightly up for the week. Yesterday was a good day. We made a 5% return after having a 5% loss in the beginning of the week, and Tuesday was up another 1.3. So that makes us break even for the week. Unfortunately, with Thanksgiving, it's going to be hard to finish today on a positive note, but let's see what can happen. We only have two open positions trading today. That is my long dollar yen position and my long silver position. And silver is doing so well. Let's start off the day on the bright spot. I'd love to know what you guys think about precious metals. I'm long silver because of the gold silver ratio is just so out of whack historical. So I think silver has actually more to go than gold. On the other hand, gold is the thing central banks are buying, so maybe it's stupid to overthink it and go for the second best. But that's where we are. So let's open the silver chart. We can start off by going to the daily candles. And what we see and what we've been discussing is this double top, which I think we're going to challenge pretty soon. I'm long here from 48,000. Uh, a very nice entry. We have this double top, and we're very soon there to going to retest it at 54,040. And normally a double top like this uh, would be bearish, like a double test, then you would expect a retest of the lows, but it's holding up quite well. Let's go to a higher time rate, like a 15-minute chart. You could say there's an upside down head and shoulders here where I just was sniping out the top of the head here. I don't give too much thought of these complex technical patterns, but it is what it is. Obviously, there was a head and shoulder formation here. And if you traded that, that would have been, you're trading both sides of this trade. But yeah, I think we are today going to see if we're going to retest it. It's here. It's for the third time, which makes me think this time it can break because, yeah, most of the resistance has maybe been chewed through. So silver is the one trading today, and silver is the one that can make me happy later in the day. Dollar yen, we're still long here. Let's start off by checking the daily candles. Obviously, just looking at the long-term trend is very bearish for yen. I wouldn't necessarily say it's positive for dollar, but it's the main currency to trade it against. You could have done it against euro or something more esoteric, but I just think it's easier to do it against the main crosses. We have a deteriorating situation in Japan. We talked about it in previous streams, but the massive debt levels, over 200% of debt to GDP. Yes, this has been a story in the financial market for the last 20 years, at least the last 20 years. I've been active. People have been talking about the collapse of Japan. They have been right also. You see what yen is doing. We look at the weekly long yen chart here from the year 2000. at least from, let's say here, 2016, or not really, from 20, I mean, yeah, okay, yeah, I take that back. It's actually from 2021. It's been really weakening, but the problem is that they have a rising interest rate, long-term interest rates, because I guess people are getting like sketchy. Are you going to be able to pay this debt off as you have a declining population? I mean, I think they have the correct decision. They try to maintain their culture. They don't have a lot of immigration, but they also have very little childbirth, so the population is declining, massive debt load to this aging population, and interest rates are going up. So more and more percent of GDP is going to interest payments. Most of the interest payments are going to the population itself because they are holding the government debt. But this is like a flywheel, and the way to finance it, they just have to print more and more yen. Now they're talking about raising rates from 0.5 to 0.75% to fight inflation in Japan, but it's not going to work because the underlying problem is they have to print more yen to pay the debt to Japanese holders. Basically, if you're printing money to your own population, they're spending that money in the economy. It's just an inflation death spiral, I guess, until this older population, I mean, this is going to sound harsh, but until this older population has died off. And so I think it's inevitable that we're going back to 160. I want to be like a take profit there at 160 because there's probably massive, massive resistance, options, gamma, all the stuff. They're not going to, probably a good time to take profit, but in the long run, we're probably going to 200 here. I guess one counter argument would be the dollar is in the same situation, but maybe 5 to 10 years offset. So still long dollar yen, these two positions. I actually 2 days ago also shorted Japanese banks. Maybe a bit premature. Here, I shorted here. I got was like where is it? I shorted on the open, which was kind of the worst price in the last 2 days. It gapped higher, gapped higher, gapped higher today. But if we look at the daily chart, again, I don't put too much credence into this, but this candlestick here, you would call a shooting star, where it trades higher, but then actually closes around the lows. Sometimes this is a sign of a reversal. We had this is not the shooting star, the upper side of the candlestick should be like a lot higher than the lower side, so you're opening and closing around the same level with a spike in between. Like, okay, the market wanted to bring it higher and it then decided to bring it lower. So let's see how next time it opens. Maybe we get a reversal. If we don't, I'm going to stop myself out here because I guess the banking sector is just also going to ride this wave of new yen. I mean, you can be insolvent as a bank. I mean, the banking sector is, I guess, insolvent, but as long as they have liquidity, it won't collapse. So yeah, uh, at some point it's going to be a problem, but maybe in 5 years, I don't know, or maybe tomorrow, we'll see. So yeah, D wave, we talked a lot about that. Not going to go into that. Brazil, not much to say. Cocoa markets, pretty sure going to be closed today. Maybe the London market's going to be open to give us some indication what's going on, but else, yeah, we are stuck in this downtrend, which is fundamentally driven. I do actually like to go to investing.com. No, sorry. Yeah, where is? I like to go to. There's this website called investing.com, which has like a semi-active chat for cocoa futures, just to figure out who's on the other side on some of these trades. Let's see, where is it? One second. Here it is. I mean, just to know what you're up against, and when you look at this chat here, it's basically not talking anything about the fundamental picture of cocoa, or the very, very bearish fundamental pictures of cocoa, just about technicals. Uh, Nice close when to compare to many other days. It can test 5,300 next sessions if it breaks above that level. Blah blah blah. The price is let's see here, 15 hours ago. Need to close the day above 5,300 to reverse the downturn. They did try 2 times. Like, they're only talking about the technical price, and I mean, it does have some effect on the short term, but in the long term, the cocoa, it's going down at least another $1,000 to $2,000 fundamentally. Actually, what I want to mention about D-Wave, or this is true for the whole quantum space. Just look at this. D-Wave, ticker qubits, is a $7.9 billion company market cap, and last quarter it had $3.7 million in earnings. So we are talking about EV to sales. So what's the market cap of the company, or let's say price sales market cap of the company compared to sales? That's 272 times. Obviously, you could say, oh, this has a great future, but this is really front running the future. Quantum computing, it's like a science project. It has very, very little practical application, and even if it can do something practical, it's an extremely complex computer to run. I mean, I love the idea of quantum computing. I love how these computers look. I mean, just look at this. It looks like so sci-fi next level, but these are highly complex systems that can kind of barely do any calculations, and a lot of people saying in the best case scenario they can be used to crack encryption and not a lot of else. And also these qubits and Rigetti and those guys, they're up against giants like IBM. So even at like $2, this is a highly overvalued stock, I think. But I think at maybe $2 a share, you can say, okay, this is like highly valued, but yeah, maybe the technology in 10 years will be very valuable. So yeah, I think a good guy to follow on this topic, surprisingly, is how do you say his name? Martin Scirelli. Very good on this topic. I mean, yeah, the guy went to prison for hiking drug market prices, but he's actually very knowledgeable technically very knowledgeable. He's super short these companies, and yeah, if you want the bear case, follow him on X. Yeah. So just finishing up, let's just have a quick look at where some of these European stocks are trading. I mean, the market is open. We just don't have the risk budget right now to do any trades. I have this order in Meta in the market. It's not allowing me to remove it at the moment, so I can't do much. Two European stocks I like to follow because I love cars is Porsche. Porsche is finally trading up a bit, hopefully soon giving an opportunity to short. If we look at the 15-minute candlestick chart, this looks like a breakout, breaking both levels and trends. I would love it to come back to levels at least to 45 euros to be able to take a new short position. Ferrari just moving sideways at this lower level. I would love for it to come back and close some of these big sell-offs. I mean, even if it would come back to 400 euros a share, I would be very interested to short it. I mean, yeah, rich people in this economy we're living in are just getting richer. More money is going to be printed. more Ferraris are going to be bought, but they got a bit ahead of themselves over their skis currently. We can talk about this in a different episodes. I think it's probably the world's greatest brands, but they are milking it a bit too hard. And even the super rich are kind of, hey, you want me to buy all these cars, which I'm going to lose money on, to then be able to buy this new car, which is like a 3, 4, 5, 6 million euro car, which is like a hybrid, not even a V12. I know a lot of rich people that are doing in the Ferrari game, and they don't like it. And if they don't like it, they're not gonna buy the cheaper Ferraris, and the whole Ferrari flywheel is gonna struggle until they figure it out. And figure it out is basically bring out the V12 hypercar. Uh, that's what people are gonna like. I think Arabica is not trading today either. We went short yesterday. I was able to get short at the range highs here at 3,800 and 38,100. Uh, we had a really nice trade down here. Obviously a retracement, but we never retested these range highs. So I think when this reopens, unless there is some big weather event, I hope this will continue to trade lower. The VIX is still in, I would say, neutral to slightly elevated territory. No interest from me to trade it right there. I did create a new uh, list here of stocks. All these stocks have one thing in common. They have a very high short interest. The way I'm thinking of using this list is basically when you have this very high short interest, several days to cover the short, more than 10% of float shorted, you will have these days of short squeezes, and which you can just basically short into, because I guess like when so much of a stock is shorted, usually there's something wrong, but there will be short squeezes which you can take advantage of. For example, yesterday, Nebius Group, I don't even know what the company does. Um, it's Wednesday. It opened with a huge squeeze up. Uh, Actually, this is where it opened. I think it was like when I was looking at it, it was up, 7% up, and you could have had a quick short there, then it squeezed back higher again. Let's have a look at Rivian. Again, you see these short squeezes. So if you can see this, if you can see one of these stocks up like, definitely when they're up double digit, but even, up high single digits, you, it's an, if you have nothing better to do, it's an interesting play to, short-term play to short it into these squeezes. Rivian, I haven't done too much research. I think the cars look fantastic, but probably difficult to make money in this sector. I also noted the Reddit was a highly shorted stock. I don't have a strong opinion. The trend is pretty bullish. But yeah, this is like a good list to have to see, is something squeezing? Is there something to do? Well, as I started off saying, it's Thanksgiving today, so there's not much else going on. If you have any thoughts yourself, are you long silver or gold, or are you playing this through platinum or palladium or some other precious metals? I'd love to know. If you have any other trade ideas which are, fundamental in their nature but have a good setup on the charts, I love to know it. That's why I want to get this channel going, to start a dialogue with other traders out there that have a similar mindset to myself, which is kind of this semi-fundamental, semi-chartist mindset. And just before we finish the stream off, I just want to show you the head of risk management here. Let's see if we can get a shot of him. There he is, head of risk management. Currently not. Currently it's Thanksgiving, so not too much in the portfolio to keep an eye on. Thank you. If you watch this, you're probably the only one because I just started. Please leave a comment. Bye.